Hello, hi. Welcome back to our Kubernetes series. Today in this particular video, we will be discussing on what is pod. We will be covering the why we need a pod within the Kubernetes and what is the structure of the pod, like a common structure as well as some advanced pattern including the sidecar container. And we'll be seeing how exactly the networking within the pod works and how the pod life cycle looks like starting from beginning till the ending. Okay, and also we'll be seeing a real world analogy for understanding the pod and associated components and a quick recap about all this particular thing in a complete picture summary. Okay, now let us quickly jump and understand what is a pod. It is basically a smallest unit within the Kubernetes where it is understanding the building block of every Kubernetes application. So here within the pod, within the pod, there is a concept of networking, container, storage. Okay, and we'll be seeing all this. Okay, this is what we are covering within the worker node. We have a pod. Within the pod, we may have a container, shared IP, volume. Okay, and here first let's understand what is a pod. Okay, a simple definition. A pod is a simplest deployable, sorry, smallest, basically tiny part, a deployable unit within the Kubernetes. So you don't deploy a containers directly, you deploy the pods. Okay, here it wraps one or more containers. So we are deploying a pods using Kubernetes. Within that pods, there is a one or more containers. You can think of it as a logical host that holds your container together. Containers, not a container. It is a containers. Okay, more than one or one also, and also it runs on a worker node where the scheduler is the one who decides which node to get the pod. Okay, so scheduler which resides in the control plane or master node, that is deciding which node this particular pod is going to be placed. Okay, based upon the resource availability and all. Okay, and also Kubernetes manages pods, not containers. So here Kubernetes will seize the pods as its basic unit of management. Okay, and it won't manages the containers individually. We'll be seeing more why exactly it works in the same way. Everything. Okay, here for non-technical example or for better understanding, you can think like pod is a one box and container is the items within that particular box. So here Kubernetes will manages the box, not the individual items. Okay, why? Because obviously it is easy to manage and easy to carry the box, but not individual items. Here Kubernetes does not like check or schedule or manage the containers directly. So what it does, it manages the pod, and pod will has these containers, and it has a network also, storage also. Okay, this pod manages this particular thing. Okay, so Kubernetes will manages this networking and storage, and whatever we have, these resources are shared among the containers which is present inside the pod. Okay, so this is what exactly is the pod. Now let us understand the purpose or use cases of pods. Okay, so first thing was Kubernetes does not manage containers directly, so it needs a higher level abstraction layer to work with the containers, right? So that is what exactly the pods. And here the pods act as a wrapper around the containers. So it is giving a Kubernetes a consistent unit or to schedule and manage the containers simply and easily. And it provides a networking to the containers. So each pod will get a unique IP address, and containers within that particular pod will share the same IP address. Okay, so this is very much important. And here it also, the pods also provides a storage to the containers, like volumes are attached to the pods and shared between the containers within inside. Okay, so inside the pod, this is also very much important. Why? Because unique IP, whatever it has, it is shared, and whatever we have volume and it is obviously shared between the containers within the pod. And also it makes the management simple, like Kubernetes will schedules, scales and heals the pods and not the individual processes or containers. Here container alone, like we will be seeing just a kind of difference here, container alone versus the pods, which is a Kubernetes unit. Okay, so for container alone, no dedicated IP address management, by the Kubernetes, and there is no storage coordination, and Kubernetes cannot schedule these particular containers alone. So here, with the help of pods, Kubernetes can get its own, can assign the IP address. So each pod has its own unique IP address, and it shares the volume with the containers. And also, Kubernetes can schedule these containers. Okay, obviously the associated, schedule the pods and associated containers will be managed accordingly, and can be healed as well as it can be restarted automatically. Okay, and now let us see inside a pod. Okay, how exactly the structure? What is inside a pod? So there are two main patterns. One is most common pattern, and another one was advanced pattern, which is a sidecar or is along with init container. We can say. Okay, so let us understand the common pattern. So common pattern was we have a single container within the pod. Okay, this is the entire pod, and in that pod we have a container. In that we have a Nginx which was running in port 80, and we have a shared resource which is provided by the pod, and it has a unique IP address, and it has a attached volume also. Okay, and this particular resource is shared to this particular container. Okay, and it has a single container pod. Okay, now coming to the advanced pattern, it is having a sidecar container also. We can say multi-container pod. So here we have a main application running in one container, and also a sidecar container which is helps to parsing the logs or maintaining the status of the uh, like this particular main container. Okay, so here there is a what we can say same IP address what we have here, and also same volume. This same IP and volume is shared among these two containers, and also it can these containers both can talk together by using the local host. Okay, and this is what exactly inside a pod it has. Okay, so basically pod structure. Now let us see the networking structure or networking components within the pod. So first thing was each pod will get its own unique IP address. So it is assigned by a Kubernetes automatically when the pod starts. And here the container inside a pod will share the same IP address. They communicate with each other via the local host. And has a, the same whatever the points here, the same diagrammatic representation. You can correlate while going through each and every point. Okay, this is the network flow where we have a pod. Within that, there is a nodes, two containers. Okay, main container or logger container or sidecar container. This communicate to by using a local host. And here, the pods will communicate each other via the cluster network by using their pod ID or else via the services also. Now here, this is the what we can say node. Within that node, there might be one or more pods also. Okay, so let's say we have one pod here and one pod here. How they are communicating together? By using a cluster network, or else by using a services also, it will communicate together. And container to container within the pod, it will communicate by using a local host. And next point here was pod IPs are temporary. When a pod was restarted, it will get a new IP address. So it is better or suggested to use your services for stable access or DNS resolution. Obviously, why? Because the pods are in the containers are ephemeral in nature, and sorry, uh, yeah, within the pod, the containers are ephemeral, and also whenever the pods are restarted, Kubernetes will don't uh, tries to repair that. It will just replaces them. Okay, at that time it will also changes the IP address also. And here the key rule was inside the pod, we as I said we use a local host for communication, and outside the pod we use service. Okay, that is a good option to communicate. And then we are going to see how the pod life cycle, okay, pod life cycle from how it lives as well as till it dies. Okay, this is the diagrammatic flow, and this is the explanation. First thing was once it was, Kubernetes created, it was in a pending state where pod is created and waiting for the node. So here the image is being pulled, and this is the first stage. Later in the running stage where at least one container is running and app is serving that particular app is serving a traffic. That means the pending is turned into a running pod. Okay, so as of now the pod was running. If it was success, okay, then all the containers will existed and successfully job was done. Okay, that means success was this and failure was this. If it was failure, obviously containers will excited exited with a error code. Okay. Then the pods are, I mean, here the key important thing was the pods are ephemeral in nature. That means temporary. Let's say if the pod fails, Kubernetes will create a brand new one to replace the existing pod. So it will never replace the old pod. So new pod was created, and Kubernetes is responsible for creating that new pod. So this is the how exactly the life cycle of your pod. Initially pending state after running, and if it was success, then all containers are running. If it was failed, then Kubernetes will recreate it. Okay, that's it. Now let us try to understand a complete real world analysis, or non-technical example also you can take. Okay, here whatever we just discussed was pod. A pod, as I said, it is a box or container unit where a self-contained box with its own address label and internal storage. So it gets its own IP address and can hold the storage also. Is it? I mean, it is the unit which was being shipped. Okay, unit in the sense the entire container. Okay, and coming to the container, container is the item within the box, item or items. Okay, so the actual product within that box. So where your running application code is there in that particular container. So multiple items can fit into a single box and can share the same label. Okay, here label in the sense like whatever the wrapper is there. I mean, this, let's say this is a box. This particular wrapper is having the more than one containers. Okay, more than this in this particular box contain. Okay, more than one. Okay, and here the main manager was Kubernetes, where it is a logistics system where it is responsible for managing, tracking, and most the box and never deals with the individual items. Okay, it was I mean, it was supposed to schedule the boxes, heals the broken ones, and scales whenever the demand grows. And if something goes wrong, it will just replaces the box, not the internal items individually. Okay, and here Kubernetes manages the pods. That means the boxes, not the container items individually. So this particular abstraction is what makes the orchestration scalable. So this is the abstraction layer to handle. I mean, abstraction layer is something hiding within. I mean, hiding or overriding one layer. Okay, and the key mapping, whatever we just discussed, was pod was the box, and the container was the items within that box, and the IP address was the label, address label for that pod. Okay, box. And volume was the shared compartment. This is the, I mean, there is a certain storage space here, right? There is a volume, and I mean that particular volume is shared by more than this. One or more than one container or one item. And here Kubernetes is the logistics manager. And the biggest insight here was managing boxes, that means pods, is far more easier than managing the individual items, that means individual containers. So that is the reason Kubernetes primarily or only manages the pods, not the individual containers. Now, a quick summary what we just discussed. Pod, which is a smallest deployable unit, and Kubernetes deploys the pods, not containers directly. Okay, that is the pod. And a wrapper where, container, it is a, I mean, a kind of a wrapper containers, a wraps container. I'm so sorry. Here, wraps containers. That means here a pod is going to wraps one or more containers within that. I'm so sorry. And there is a shared network also. Like there is a one IP and local host, which is going to shared across the containers. Okay, or communicate by using the local host, one container to one container, and all auto managed also. So Kubernetes will heals as well as restarts automatically. And this is how exactly all fits together. Okay, on the high level, Kubernetes will manage it, and the pods will wraps the container, and then container where actually your running application, and finally within that particular container your application is there where it will serve the users. So here one key important point was a pod is the atom of Kubernetes, so everything will build on top of this particular simple and powerful concept. Okay, so this is all about the pod. In the next video, we will be covering more about multi-container pods. Okay, like sidecar, init container, patterns. Okay, everything we will be seeing. So I hope so you found some useful information out of this particular video, and see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and please do like and subscribe, as well as hit a bell icon. By that you will get a notification for the new videos, and all the best for your learning.